As tensions flare once again between India and Pakistan, the world watches closely. With both nations being nuclear powers, the question is no longer just what happens next, but who stands with whom, and what role the international community will play. The recent skirmish in Kashmir and rising cross-border tensions have drawn concern across the globe. This isn't just a South Asian problem, it's a geopolitical flashpoint. Nations are lining up with diplomatic statements, silent warnings, and subtle alignments. Let's break down what the world is thinking and where they might stand if things escalate. The United States has traditionally walked a fine line, arming Pakistan with military aid during the War on Terror, but deepening strategic and trade ties with India in recent years. In the current crisis, Washington has called for maximum restraint, but is closely aligned with New Delhi on tech, defense, and Indo-Pacific security. However, US officials know that pushing too far in India's favor could drive Pakistan closer to China. So while publicly neutral, the US remains quietly supportive of India, yet wary of escalation. Meanwhile, the UK and EU nations have echoed calls for de-escalation. The UK, with its large South Asian diaspora, has urged both sides to return to dialogue, avoiding any clear favoritism. China is Pakistan's closest ally, both economically and militarily. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, a key part of Beijing's Belt and Road Initiative, runs through contested Kashmir. So any Indian aggression near that zone threatens Chinese investments and regional plans. China has issued veiled warnings, reaffirming its support for Pakistan's sovereignty and opposing unilateral actions by India in Kashmir. Russia, traditionally India's top defense supplier, is now playing a more neutral game. With growing ties to Pakistan through energy and military drills, Moscow has urged calm but avoided taking sides, focusing instead on regional stability through platforms like the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. The Muslim world, led by Turkey, Iran, and the OIC, has leaned toward Pakistan, condemning human rights violations in Kashmir and pushing for global intervention. Turkey has been vocal, calling the Kashmir situation an open wound, while Iran has warned that regional peace hinges on justice for Kashmiris. Meanwhile, countries like Japan, Australia, and France support India's territorial integrity, but also stress diplomatic solutions. The Global South, including African nations and ASEAN members, largely avoid direct involvement, but push for peace under UN frameworks. In a world already on edge, from Ukraine to Gaza, another conflict in South Asia would be catastrophic. The world doesn't want to choose sides in another war, but if forced to, lines are already being drawn. The next move lies not just with India or Pakistan, but with global powers deciding whether they want another battlefield or a breakthrough